You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another Doctor Who wrap-up show. We're doing Season 6, Episode 4 of the new Who, The Doctor's Wife. One of my favorite episodes ever.
Yes. And greetings, I am Matt Lieberman, joining
Jenna Bush.
Yes. We'll just give you our Twitter handles right here at the top. I am at Matt Lieberman, MattLieberman.
And I am at Jenna Bush, B-U-S-C-H, like the beer, not the president.
Yes. Now, we've been doing classic episodes for the past few months now, since Doctor Who went off the air. But we're taking some time now, especially as we get closer to the Christmas special, and especially the second half of Season 7. We want to revisit some of our favorite modern episodes.
Yeah.
And it was great getting back to this episode. I hadn't watched it in a while.
Me either.
It's just so well written. Neil Gaiman, of course, wrote the teleplay, and now he's coming back this season with a Cybermen episode.
Oh,
which
so
is
excited.
so exciting. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to mention something right off the bat that I noticed this time around that I did not notice last time.
I'm prepping myself.
Okay. So, if you guys have watched, as you know, this is the soul of the TARDIS, pretty much, in a human body, so she can actually speak to the Doctor. And she mentions that there have been 30 control rooms.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I've only remodeled what did he call it?
He said 12 times.
12 times.
Yeah.
So, and she said, well, it hasn't some of them haven't happened yet. And I know we've had discussions in the past about how many times he can regenerate.
Yeah.
So we know it's been at least 30.
Well, hey, no, we know that there's at least 30 TARDIS remodeling.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, which I noticed that line for the first time, too, this time when I watched it. And I loved he was like, you can't store things from the future.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Which I don't know that there's necessarily been 12 control rooms in the history of the series.
Right.
I know for sure that we've seen 4 or 5 of them. Like we have what? It's the circles from Classic Who. We had the wood paneled one from Classic Who.
Oh yeah.
We had we have the current one. We have the David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston one. You know, there may have been a different version when William Hartnell did it, but other than that.
Yeah, there haven't been that many.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, they're just releasing pictures of something new from the inside of the TARDIS from the Christmas special.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I will send you the link. Guys, if you want to find it, I'm actually going to be writing it up. It should run first thing in the morning on fanhattan.com.
Yes, and if you guys haven't been checking it out, Jenna does some amazing work over there and has been reporting on Doctor Who specifically, and I won't get into some of those spoilers here because I'm still mad.
I spoiled things from that.
Like, you know how... And you may have this with your friends. Like, I want to be spoiled up to a point.
Yeah.
Like, I like knowing what's coming, but if it's something monumental, something that will literally get me out of my chair and cause me to run around my apartment, like pause the show and run, I don't want to know because I want to have that experience of doing that.
Yeah.
You know, like when Oswin showed up at the beginning of Season 7,
right.
I'm like, wait, what? What's happening?
Yep.
What's happening? When the Doctor, like in Season 6, when the Doctor was shot in the first episode, I stopped my TV and I ran. I was like, what are they doing?
You need to film this when this happens.
I know. Well, I think I'm just going to, maybe for when I watch the Christmas special and maybe just for going forward, Maybe I'll do like a live feed. I was
think you
thinking about live tweeting since we're not going to be in the studio on Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
Live tweeting the Christmas special.
Yeah. I may be doing that. I'll be watching it on East Coast time.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we may be live tweeting, but yes, but if you are going to run around the room, I'm going to need to see that.
Okay, absolutely.
Yes, but yeah, I mean there are definitely some spoilers out there right now. There's one about the voice of the snowman, and that will also be on Fanhattan. I won't say it just in case, because I wouldn't want to upset anyone or keep them from running around the room.
Yes, it's a magical time between a geek and his one true love, media.
I like that.
Yeah.
And also that was a perfect segue.
Yes.
Because the Doctor and his one true love.
The TARDIS.
Oh my God, it was so cute. In fact, I like the line that Amy says, like when she's like, "Oh, the TARDIS is a woman." Oh, you've been doing a lot of wishing, haven't you?
No, shut up. Yeah.
That was really, really cute. She's like, "My name is Sexy." Like, oh
Yeah.
God.
And her performance, I just like, again, that's such a tricky role to pull off because it's countless knowledge, but then also very childlike. You know, you're in all timelines at once almost, and getting used to a body, but then also knowing what's coming and knowing what has been.
Yeah.
Like to pull that off in one episode and really hook you immediately with that character is so tricky to pull off.
Oh yeah,
But
Saran Jones was brilliant.
You buy her instantly, and their chemistry is just so amazing. You don't want her to have to go back and be the TARDIS again.
Yeah,
I would love to see them together off on adventures and him try to explain like ordinary, like people-y things to her.
I was thinking that. I would actually love to see that. I mean, I know they probably can't do it, but oh God, I would love to watch it. She was just so good, and she had like just even her movements weren't human. There was just something slightly off that was so perfect. And also I like when she bit him and she said, "Biting, it's like kissing, but there's a winner."
Yes, exactly. It's what it is. You know. Well, yeah. It's true though, because ultimately only one person gets to bite at a time, or like it's who has the least marks on them, who has claimed dominance. It really is. It's like kissing, but there is a winner.
There's so much I could say here. It would be so wrong.
I know. Hey, we're talking about Doctor Who here, Jenna Bush.
Right. Okay. So get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know who we have to talk about is the House.
Yes.
And
House.
the voice of House.
So super creepy, and like the patchwork people are so super creepy. Like they're, to me, like just knowing Neil Gaiman's work, especially his comics and graphic novel work, you can see how it would look on the page as a graphic novel. Like to me, it's even shot that way. It's like very lush and kind of paintery. You know, there's like deep blues and blacks, and then bright little bursts of green, and but House, I don't know. I thought about this today for hours, and I still can't think of like who that voice reminds me of, because it reminds me of. It's not Alan Rickman, but it's like in an Alan Rickman family. Yeah,
and it was Michael Sheen, in case you guys didn't know.
That's who it was?
Uh-huh, it was Michael Sheen.
God damn it.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
He would. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
He's bringing like a level of like down here. I had no idea that he had.
Oh, that man is absolutely brilliant.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Michael Sheen?
Michael Sheen.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
He must have like smoked cigarettes for like 3 days straight.
I know.
Just lower his voice down to here.
I know. Well, you know, I want to say something about Neil Gaiman, because I happen to be, I'm your biggest fan, Neil Gaiman, just so you know. But when I heard he was doing an episode, I was over the moon about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You ran around the room.
I did actually run around the room. That may have been jumping up and down and squealing. I mean, his work is so brilliant. I mean, I even have his Sandman tarot card deck. I mean,
That's dedication.
Yeah, his work is just wonderful, and it had such a Neil Gaiman flavor to it. Like this, you could tell no one else could have written this way. And I know he wanted to do something for a long time. I read a couple things that he wanted to. There were some budget issues. He was originally going to do it earlier in the season when Rory wasn't there yet, and so he had to change the whole thing with the corridors.
Yeah.
And he had to write Rory in. And I know that Moffat came in and actually did a couple of things that Neil said were some of the best lines. Although.
Really?
Yeah. Although I doubt it, because I'm sure anything that Neil wrote would be amazing. But but it just had that. There's something just sweet and dark about what he does. But there's just like, I don't know if you guys
Dark with heart.
Dark with heart. I like that.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have read the Graveyard book that he wrote, but if you haven't, you really should. It has that same feel to it. That same, like, everything is just so like tender and sort of romantic, but in this really dark and creepy situation. You know. So, and you know, the fact that all of the Time Lords, like, he's hearing all these distress calls, and he still thinks that, oh, maybe there are some alive.
Maybe hope against hope that, you know, there are some, because ultimately he will forever be looking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
For that act.
Yeah.
He seeks salvation.
Yeah.
You know, because like to rid the universe of his entire species, and then to like it lends so much more weight to when he discovers that first Dalek back in the Christopher Eccleston season, of just like, all of my people are dead and you're still out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, and I mean, Amy even says it, you're looking for forgiveness. And when he opens that moment, when he opens the cabinet and
like
all
the
of
medicine cupboard.
Oh God, and all of the distress calls are sitting there and like looking at the graveyard of TARDIS bits.
Yeah.
It was just, it was heartbreaking.
Really, really heart-wrenching.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I want to talk about Amy and Rory and the corridors and like throughout season 6, I feel like there were a few elements that got kind of like done a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what other episode there was where they were running through corridors, but it was in season 6. There was kind of reminiscent of Day of the Moon and where Rory's like writing all the stuff on the walls and he's grown older. And then the girl who waited dealing with the same thing. And I feel like that may have had corridors too.
I think it did actually. Yes, it did. And it was, you know, it was Amy aging. And but it was, you know, it's funny because having watched that, I was thinking about that as I was watching this episode.
No, it was Let's Kill Hitler.
Oh, right.
Let's Kill Hitler when they're running around inside of the test selector and it's just more and more corridors. But what I loved, and especially now having watched more of the classic stuff, the design of the corridors to me felt very 70s Who.
Yeah.
Like the gold circles and the kind of off-white finish, almost purpley walls. They felt a little cheaper, like when you watch it in HD versus like how everything else is constructed. Like you could almost see that they were wood. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it to me, that felt like a very loving homage to the style of the 70s Who, but just because it's still the same ship. Yeah. It's still the same ship. It's just they've jettisoned or stored away the majority of the rooms that look that way.
Right. Yeah, and it was interesting because I'd read that they saved those. They built them and they saved them. Yeah. And I think they were going to use them for something else, but now they're part of the Doctor Who experience.
Oh, great.
In England. That's in Cardiff, right, I think?
Yeah, it's in Cardiff. Yeah. It started in England, it moved to Cardiff, and now that's its permanent home. My question is, with the upcoming episode in the 7th season, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, will we see these corridors again? Now that they're no longer at the studio. I know. I wonder. I mean, I know that that Neil Gaiman actually wanted to, and this was stopped because of budget, but he wanted to do a scene in the pool. I know. We're gonna get the pool this time. We better get the pool. We're gonna get the pool. I need to see the pool. We need to get the pool. I think that's like that's a deal breaker for me. Yeah. If that episode comes up and we get no pool, even though he did say he jettisoned the pool. He did. So they could technically do that, but come on. Show me the damn pool. Show me the goddamn pool. Exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, I also like the fact that the bunk beds, he wants to put bunk beds. Bunk beds are cool. It's a bed with a ladder on it. What could be better? I know. And you know what, as much as I wanted one as a kid, I can maybe see why they wouldn't. Yeah, I can see why they wouldn't. Ugh, bunk beds and I have like a bad history. Oh, really? Oh, well, the one time I ever got to be on like a top bunk, it was my first summer at Sleepaway Camp. It was my first day there. I'd never made a bed before. So I'm on the top bunk, and this kid offers me an everlasting gobstopper. Oh, I love those. I reached off the bed to get it, and all the covers slid off with me, and I landed neck first. Oh, my God. On the wooden floor. And the nurse said that if I wasn't so chubby, I would have been badly injured. Oh, God. Which was like the first time I'd ever felt validated for being fat as a child. Oh, my God. There's so many things wrong with what you just said. Yes. So many.
That's really twisted.
I know. Back to twisted and
Right,
wrong things.
Right.
I love the Ood, but Nephew is so super creepy. And that was the first use of the Ood, I think, in Moffat Who. Is that correct?
Yeah, in fact, he didn't originally want to use the Ood. He wanted to create a monster. But same thing, budget reasons. So you got some Ood hanging around. I think the Ood are brilliant because I cannot look at them without getting a shudder. I mean, they're creepy looking.
Yeah.
They're creepy. And you know, obviously when we were introduced to them, they were so evil. And then they're so wonderful that there's always that thing of, are they going to turn?
Yes.
And I kind of love that about them.
Yeah, it's weird to me. Like, now that they've been brought back a few times, they are part of the Who lexicon.
Right.
To me, they were never, when I first saw that first episode, I was like, this is not necessarily something I ever need to see again.
Yeah.
But upon repeated visits, and then having them finally get freed in season 4, you know, in Planet of the Ood, which, like, isn't the greatest episode, but, like, the way that the Ood have been used since, I really appreciate.
Yeah.
And, like, of course, the Pond Life use of Ood.
Oh, I know. Oh my god.
Sublime.
Ood on the loo.
Yeah, Ood on the loo. How can you beat it? You can't. It's
No.
better than a bunk bed.
It is better than a bunk bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was also interesting that he's like, oh, I didn't have time to save the Ood.
Yeah.
You know, poor Nephew.
Yeah, poor Nephew. Ugh,
I
another
know.
Ood I couldn't save.
And Auntie and Uncle were also really, really creepy. There's just something
super creepy.
Yeah, there's something about. I mean, the way they were
They're
written.
shapeless too.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of like hunchback, and like none of their parts match.
Yeah, and these are 2 theater actors as well. So I thought that was really interesting. There's just something about the way that they moved, and not even that they were all the wrong parts, but that there was something completely addled about their brains.
Yeah.
And it was just, God. It was funny because I just saw Les Mis recently, and these 2 characters, if you guys know Les Mis, remind me
Madame Thénardier.
Thénardiers.
Yeah.
They were the Thénardiers. They absolutely were.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea of the Thénardiers, in case you guys haven't read it or seen it, is that the vultures survive.
Yes.
The people who pick up scraps are the ones
I'd
that
agree
survive.
with that. I would say, yeah, they're almost like clockwork vultures.
Right.
That House put together to keep them company.
Right. It's their houses vultures. But interestingly, there was a moment in the soundtrack that sounded like Castle on a Cloud, which is another song from Les Mis, in case you guys don't know.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
It was so bizarre, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh,
Where?
God,
Where in
Thénardiers.
the episode?
It was early on. It was very early on, and it's a scene with just Auntie and Uncle. So it wasn't, there wasn't anyone else in the scene. It was just the 2 of them. And it was the whole, like, the whole phrase, beginning phrase, like, if you were singing there is a castle on a cloud. Yep. And it was like,
I can almost hear it now.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's just your influence and I'm imagining it because it's like clear as a bell to me. Like that was the first musical I ever was like,
yep.
That's awesome. When I was a kid. Anyway.
Yeah. But just if you guys watch it again, just listen for it because
I'm gonna look again, Bush.
All right.
If I don't see it, you're gonna get a tweet.
Oh God.
Okay?
I'm messing with you.
You're gonna get a tweet. Don't make me tweet.
That's quite terrifying.
I don't like it. I don't like tweeting. Don't make me do it.
You do too like tweeting.
Maybe sometimes.
Oh, I have to mention. I thought that was really cute. That she's like, oh, the pretty one, and she calls
and it was
Rory.
Rory.
Hello, pretty.
Yeah. Hello, pretty. Yeah.
I love that. I don't know. That was just a cute little touch. I'm just looking through to see some of the other stuff. That he always the pull and push on the door. Just the cute little things that Idris says to the Doctor about stupid things that he does. Like, have you read the sign? How long have we been doing this?
You won't read the sign. You know, and it's a couple. It's a couple bickering. You know, you didn't always take me where I wanted to go. No, but I took you everywhere where you needed to go.
Yep.
And then he's just like, oh, if you had a mouth and we could talk all the time, imagine the conversations we would have.
I know. Oh, and the line that she whispers to Rory, the only water in the forest is the river, which obviously we know now she's talking about River Song.
Yes.
So, and that obviously, I mean, you see that at the end of the season. But I remember watching that going, what the hell? What the hell does that mean? And it was really cool to watch it again, knowing what it means.
I don't know what it means. The only but what forest?
Oh, but remember when they were coming up with River Song's name?
Well, yeah, Melody Pond.
Melody Pond.
Right, but where's the forest?
I think it was that whole thing where they were talking about like I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. Guys, if you remember, tweet us.
Well, I know what she said because I saw it. Yeah, the only water in the forest is the river.
But later on, when Amy, I'm trying to remember the name of the episode, when
the wedding of River Song? Or?
No, it was actually when Amy's had the baby and she's being held captive, and they're discussing
right. Good
why
man
the
goes
name.
to war.
Yeah, why they were talking about the name. There was something about the forest too.
Okay. Oh, the people of the forest.
Yeah,
I think.
and that's why
You're
they
right.
called it. They don't have a word for.
They don't have a word for
a river, so.
Yeah.
Melody Pond and
right.
yeah. So, but yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That was deep. We just went really deep.
We just went way
good.
deep.
Yeah.
We went deeper, and then we went deeper.
It was good.
Then we got incepted, and then we came back.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
You just went to Inception, didn't you?
I did, real briefly. You didn't even have to ask. You knew.
It's true.
You knew.
That's totally true.
Yeah. You know what? They could have, like, there were a couple of really expensive effect shots in here. I'm like, they could have had more function with the budget if they didn't make those space shots so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because they are some of the best space shots they've ever had. When they take off in the makeshift TARDIS and they're chasing after the real one, and it's like this ball of light that's like pulsating and
so
flying, and it's such a great, epic, gorgeous, painterly, cinematic shot.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
The whole thing really was. I mean, I don't know. This one just stuck out to me because it felt like a fairy tale to me.
Well, that's the thing. And I thought that too while I was watching it. And I think Doctor Who really is at its core a modern fairy tale.
Yeah.
And the little piece in the opening for Americans on BBC America for season 6, the whole like Amy recapping, like, you know, like I was once a little girl and blah blah blah. It's like that is to a T a fairy tale.
It totally is.
And like, as much as it may piss some people off, it gets me every time.
Me too.
It's like I ran away with him, you know, like in the middle of the night. It's just so like beautiful and sweet and sad and like epic yearning. Like there's so much that just can't be said because there's so much emotion behind this show. It's for anyone who could possibly dismiss it as anything more than a modern fable, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. Originally, Neil Gaiman had wanted to do the corridor scenes with just Amy, and what it was supposed to be about was what it was like to be. Well, this was before Rory was in it.
Right.
Was supposed to be what it was like to be a companion, and the sadness and the loneliness, and how they die off, but the Doctor's always there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would actually love to see that.
I would have loved
script.
to see that too.
Yeah, because I guess he'd written over and over again a bunch of different scripts, and I would have liked to see, if it's out there, Neil Gaiman, if you're watching, because I know you are.
Or some secret superfan might have secreted them away on some server somewhere.
I would like to see it.
Give me a ring.
I know, I really would love to. I would love to watch.
Tweet me.
Oh.
Tweet at me.
See? I knew you liked to tweet.
No, I like the ease of Twitter.
Oh.
The act of writing the tweets. It's not my favorite.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah. I still send stuff out. I'll like put the name of the person I want to send it to at the end, and then everybody sees it. How am I supposed to know? There's no instructions.
We're gonna have Twitter lessons.
Ugh, no.
No, we're totally having Twitter lessons.
It's like lessons for the worst thing ever. That's like lessons in how to be tortured.
I'm gonna give you homework.
Oh.
Twitter homework.
Twitter homework.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch homework.
Twitch homework.
Twitch homework.
All right, so I also want to give a shout out to Father Wizard, who
Yes.
is feeling better and out of the hospital
Thank
now.
goodness. I'm so glad.
So hi.
Hi. Hey, Sean.
So let's talk a little bit about what's coming up now. Do some
Yes.
predictions.
Yes.
Aha.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Predictions.
Oh God, you're like falling over.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have our Christmas special coming up in just a few short weeks.
Yes, in fact, we should say, like you said, we're not going to be here on Christmas,
Yes.
but we will make sure that we tweet. So follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we're going to film it.
Yes, we will tweet, and we are going to shoot it at a later date.
Yes.
Likely at the beginning of the new year.
Yes.
Well, I think that this episode with Clara is going to set her up. Now, there's a big debate online among fans about whether or not Clara is Oswin or
Right.
Oswin's ancestor, or is in any way connected to her, or is she just in the grand tradition of Companions Past? It's just another role that she's playing,
Right.
much like how Karen Gillan was in The Fires of Pompeii, Freema Agyeman was in the season 2 finale,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. I think that she's a different character.
I think so,
I think she's a different character. I love that it's in Victorian London.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we're going to get the return of Strax,
Yeah.
the Suntaran, and our Slitheen detective and her lover and ward.
Jenny.
Yes, Jenny. Of course you would know that.
Well, yeah. You know.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get a good monster, and it's going to be interesting, especially based on that prologue that was released.
Right.
What is going to bring the Doctor to take her along? Because I don't know if it would be by choice anymore.
Right.
Like, unless this adventure so profoundly rousts him from this, like, this malaise
Yeah.
of having lost Amy and Rory, I don't really know what would get him out of his funk if he wasn't forced out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I don't know if you read, but I wrote up something that Jenna Louise Coleman had spoken to Entertainment Weekly and talked about, and she sort of hinted that there may be some sort of connection.
Oh.
But the thing is, we don't know. I mean, that just because they were able to keep her appearance in the opening of the season a secret, this may just be misdirection.
Yeah.
And
And they've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, she even kind of a little bit implied that Clara's possibly not human.
I'd love that too.
Yeah, and now I don't know. I mean, that's just what I'm getting from what she said. If you guys want to look it up on Fanhattan, just Google Doctor Who and Jenna Louise Coleman and see what she said, or you can look it up on Entertainment Weekly. But yeah, it was very interesting the way that she discussed it, and how she also said how grateful she was that no one spilled the secret about her first appearance, which I have to say was pretty nice.
Pretty nice, and like kind of impossible.
Yeah.
In this modern age, that people had seen the episode weeks ahead of time and did not say a thing, did not tweet, it didn't leak anywhere. People just kept their mouth shut. And I wish that some people...
What? I have to.
I'm not going to say it on here.
Well, you
I'm
have
sure
to
that
read it.
everyone who's listening already knows about it or has
say-
heard rumors, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want anyone else to get spoiled.
But-
How dare you? No buts.
No, the title said spoilers.
Ugh.
It
Please. I didn't look at the article. It was in your Facebook post about your article.
That's true.
Yeah. Oops.
Mwahaha.
Oops.
Mwahaha. All right, well, if you don't want to know who the voice of the snowman is, don't read the next thing I'm going to write tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Which, that is pretty cool, and
It's
that's not the
awesome.
kind of spoiler I'm mad about. Just real quick, I do want to remind you guys that if you've not subscribed to us on iTunes, please do.
Yes.
We love when you write comments. We read all of them.
We do.
And we do try to respond as much as we can. Tweet at us. We love talking to our fans. You're the reason that we do the show. You're the reason that we do the show when the show's not even on the air.
Yep.
Because we love this show as much as you do. So please be a part of it.
Yeah, and next week I think we're going to do our wrap-up.
Yes, our recap of the first half of Season 7, going into the Christmas special, talking about moments that we loved. And get at us this week and let us know what you really thought of those first 5 episodes so we can bring it in and have an informed discussion about the quality of the first half going into the second.
Excellent. All right, guys, again, I'm Jenna Bush. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna Bush, B-U-S-C-H, like the beer, not the president. You can find my work on fanhattan.com. And you can watch my show with Stan Lee, Cocktails with Stan, on YouTube, World of Heroes.
Yes, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. I also have an online sketch comedy series called Viewers Like You.
Which is awesome.
Which is youtube.com/VLYTV. If you're in the Los Angeles area and you love live comedy, you can come out every Friday night to Danger Room at 8801 Cascio Street, where I host a live improv show that's 2 hours of free improv, free drinks, free beer, and so on. And monthly, the first Sunday of every month, I perform at the I.O. West main stage headliner sketch comedy. You can come check out our team, DJ Fawcett. We're also online on Facebook, facebook.com/DJ Fawcett.
Woo!
Yeah.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZ TV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.